I'm a little worried for the lanes of the cut if these wildcard supports get the job done and like snowball off the core matchups.
All right, this is one of my favorite parts about TI, and I'm glad it's back. We got the prediction game. Are you down with this, Avery? You down to do some predictions?
Oh, I'm always down for predictions because I'm always right, So.
All right. Free points, I guess. All right, total number of player deaths by 10 minutes.
Let's see, what are the options? 5 to 10 to 10 to 15 to 16. I mean, North American Dota, right? So it's either going to be 0 or 30.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
You just got to take the 50-50.
I mean, I'm looking at it like you've got Skywrath Mage, you've got Clockwork, Marcy, Tiny, like Storm Street. There are a lot of kill heroes in this game that want to run
11 to 15.
11 to 15 by 10 minutes. Yeah,
that's going to be a brawl.
All right. Time of first barracks destruction. 420 minutes, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 plus. I feel like before 20 is just never happening, this meta.
Yeah, that's a rare one. I think the 20 to 30 happens if the TA gets both ages, right? And then
sure, yeah,
they're just snowballing. They go high ground. 30 to 40. I mean, it's either 20 to 30 or 40 plus. I don't think the 30.
I'm gonna say 30 to 40 because I think going high ground again into Tidehunter, Storm Spirit, and Disruptor, it's kind of annoying going high ground against those heroes. So and also I just hope the cut don't like lose the game really badly.
I'm gonna go 20-30. I think it's gonna snowball. I'm feeling the snowball. I'll take a guess here.
Total number of Smoke Ganks kills at the game end: 0 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 12, 13 plus.
I'm gonna go 5 to 8.
Snowball. You think it's got to be a lower number, right?
No, the thing is usually there's like a smoke into team fight, right, and then it counts all those. So I'm gonna go 5 to 8. I mean, we're already
first blood
kills.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to lead off the Skywrath Mage slow, followed up Lil Nick chasing after him, but you don't actually commit anything. Despite all that water sound you heard, that was just Nick's taunt, not actually him leveling Gush. So a little bit surprised. I guess maybe they thought he would just cogs and
be able
to
not
run
a guaranteed
free,
kill, and then you have a Gush spent before the lane. Pretty sad.
Yeah, but is that bad? I mean, Skywrath Mage, I feel like takes advantage of Gush level 1 pretty well.
Depends what the Sky wants to do. If you want to play the lane long, then I can see just Crack and Anchor Smash spamming the TA. It's traditionally how you'd want to scale in the lane long term versus TA. Like, some early kill is not going to change the trajectory too much. So I don't know. It depends what Lil Nick wants to do. I don't think I would take Gush there. I think it just felt unnecessary. Like, you're not going to get the first blood, then you spend a Gush, then you go in lane with Gush. Now you're committed to. You just have to go on TA and try and spam her out. But she's going to have stick. She's going to have some flag bearer. She's going to be under a tower. I don't know if you can really spam people that reliably out of lanes. So I tend to agree with the level of the decision. We'll see what happens though.
Currently watching the mid matchup between Shaggy and Alone, which will be a pretty interesting one. I mean, Shaggy is he's very good laner. Obviously, his biggest problem is, if you guys have watched any of his games, is his tendency to throw away his lead that he builds up. But he is very skilled, so we'll see how Alone deals with this, which is a very annoying matchup, right?
I mean, I do think it's Tiny favored, at least for some portions of it. But that said, I mean, it's Storm, man. Storm is like, you spam the remnants, you get the water runes. It's pretty hard to stop him farming.
Yeah.
So I think it's. I don't think CS is crazy either way, but I still like the matchup as Tiny, right? As long as you get in the mid game pre-farmed, which you should, you just have this combo solar kill potential at all times with any follow-up spell. I always like this matchup, but I think it's Tiny favored generally. So he should have a pretty good time.
Looks like Sam gave the solo experience to Eve to start, so we got a faster level 2, which is pretty important, I would say, for a TA.
And he did end up going to Gush, so chooses to commit that route, and that's where the extra XP actually helps the TA a lot, because you can get the early refraction points. You get just higher levels faster. Ideally, they can get pulls off down here, but I'm pretty sure Sammy Boy's happy to keep Skywrath off the lane for the early waves. This is pretty bad for B-God, so once again, I think Wildcard's going to be pretty happy with this laning phase outcome. I mean, even this Batrider's not doing too bad. He's just spamming this napalms, giving him stick, but there's no pressure on this lane, right? It's just They just want to get the bat CS levels and even potentially look for the Marcy roam to mid. That's like the biggest thing that can happen for them.
It's definitely a lane that Batrider is going to look best early on too, right? Before the higher levels of Shukuchi. I mean, Scourge McDuck is level 3, he's gone 1-1-1, so Shukuchi, when he has to use it, 15-second cooldown. So definitely a time where Batrider kind of owns the lane.
Yeah, the other thing is, like, Jubei took Glimpse level 1, which... I mean, it's better now, like, you can nuke people with it, but I think when you reverse bat with Disruptor, you actually just want to take the Thunderstrike, because you get it back with the stick charges, right? And you just start spamming the regen out. But it's kind of interesting they went for this. Like, if you go for this build, it kind of tells you want to play for some, like, early kill attempt or something. I'm not sure.
Did he level it when they spotted the Clockwork, maybe?
Maybe. It might have just, you know, First Blood bites him a little bit in the ass, but still, I think this Disruptor here will... I think you really want to kill the lane with this hero. I don't think you're happy just chilling and watching your carry farm. Because this hero doesn't scale, right? And it's not like his spells do anything to BKB timings. His spells are pretty low damage. He doesn't really have any insta-stuns or disables. So his scale is pretty weak. It's the reason why a lot of people don't like this hero. You got to get the job done early. And a big portion of that early game is, I mean, the lane, right? So I'm a bit sad for Jubei here. I think he's gonna have a pretty slow game just based off the start.
Yeah, even still, level 2, still not leveling up Thunderstrike. I guess waiting for a possibility of being able to get a good lasso. I mean, just looking at the damage, it's really not that impressive. He sent the Batrider back pretty far. It was 90 damage. Like, who cares? Thunderstrike is way better than that.
Yeah. The thing is, Thunderstrike's... That's the problem with this hero. None of his spells feel that good.
Yeah,
it's just like, you throw them out, you do some damage, but if you're not converting on the kill, it doesn't feel amazing. Which Weaver can do, so I can understand this lane. I just think the way it started, like, even at this point, his Batrider's already level 4 with full 1 and double null. He's not going down anymore.
Gank mid, Shaggy. He just ran through the river and challenges alone, but instead is found in a 2v1. Turns around, does a bunch of damage here. He's going to get another round of this Remnant off. It's doing a lot. If only he had a support to help him out. But B-God doesn't even complete his TP, as his core is already dead.
I mean, that's the Marcy mid game. This is another reason this top lane was super important for the cut. If they're pressuring the bat and keeping this Alex Marcy up there, he doesn't have this mid gank option as easily, or feels bad about it. But since Divine Llama's just sitting up here 1v2, he's like, alright, no problem. I'll go mid, collect my free Storm bounty. I mean, this is like the downside of Storm since forever. You know, if you gank the hero, he's pretty sad. And now Shaggy's going to have to walk out. No TP up for 10. Very debilitating for his early game.
And off of that, they tried to get real aggressive on the TA, but it felt like one of those forced moves, you know? It was one of those like, ah, man, I should have been mid. Now I'm going to try and make a move on this TA just to like kind of even the scales, but they didn't really do that much. They threw a lot of spells to do not very much damage. As you can see, Eve is pretty much back up to full health.
I'm telling you, man, these flag bearers, flag bearer plus stick, plus you're in your safe lane, plus if refraction blocks, you know, 1 or 2 spells, like you're just not harassing these agi carries out of the lane.
Yeah,
it's a big conceptual change, I think.
Another toss back, Shaggy. This time the Skywrath Mage is going to be here, but not enough, as Shaggy is nowhere to run to. Haste Rune going to be grabbed by Jubei, but don't think anybody's low enough. I mean, Alex is going to take a bit of damage. Maybe he will. Nuke's going to follow him, and he'll die.
Decent. I mean, at least you took the haste away from the Tiny, too.
Yeah, but they're still trading supports here. So, in the end, it's still a 2-for-1 exchange for Wildcard, unless... Okay, he actually gets the silence. One swing, barely gets it before he disappears into the trees alone. He's going to take... Actually, he can glimpse back. Maybe they can get the kill here.
That's a good glimpse.
Underneath the tower, aggro was on him as well. Nice cogs pushback, but Shaggy is still not level 2, and DeMarcy is back again to be able to play the lane and kill Jubei. A double kill for Alone as the 2 supports swarming into the mid lane for the Radiant side, once again making this matchup impossible for Shaggy.
Man, if Storm has 6 there, you're maybe looking at this Tiny death, which is a huge turnaround for them in this mid lane. Instead, Alone just gets away with murder, quite literally.
Oh, in top lane, Scourge McDuck. Oh, no, he missed. Alex barely missed out on the rebound stun, which surely would have gotten the kill. Instead, Scourge McDuck lives with just a sliver of HP, and Alex actually uses a smoke to get out of there a little bit quickly, but he runs straight into Shaggy, so...
Oh, what's up?
Smoke for what, I guess?
Level 6 now. Not so easy. Some extra gold for Shaggy. He's still a long way behind this Tiny. Overall, the early exchange is not going the Cut's way. But happy to reap up something there. I mean, these power runes, this 8 and 10 minute power rune are going to be really important.
Yeah.
Because if this Tiny gets it, he's just an absolute monster. Like, he already has 1,000 gold on top of Treads. He's an absolute beast. If he gets some DD or Haste or Arcane, like, it just becomes very hard for the Cut to make moves. And they're a lineup that kind of wants to, right? You have Disruptor Skyrim. These are not supports who want to sit back and wait for something to develop. Like, they want to get stuff done. They want to be killing heroes. It's what these heroes are designed to do. That's what they want to do.
And now there's a regen rune on the Tiny. So if they are going to make a move, mid isn't one of the obvious ones, but ganking a Tiny with raindrops and 1600 HP and a regen rune, that is way too dangerous. Nick.
Little Nick.
He's going to be run down underneath the tower here. They do manage to get a trap to slow him a little bit more, keep the battery assault going. He did hit a really good anchor smash, so he has actually Olympier turnaround. Ravage, they're going to be able to TP in several heroes here as they've got the swarm on out. Looks like Nick still living on a sliver of HP. He needs to finish him off, but he can't quite do it. Oh my God, Nick, what a turnaround. Gets 2 kills off of that one. A toss tree almost hits him, but either way, he might have lived through it all. Alone and Alex are still going to be playing in this high ground area, waiting for just some hero to stumble into them.
That anchor smash reduction, man. Some extra Kraken shell buff, you know? A little extra makes a difference. Nice turnaround. That gets their supports activated too, so...
You saying the 1 damage block
increase, man, that's what I'm saying.
Enough?
15 to 16 might have saved them there.
I was curious about that. Do you think with the change of Kraken Shell, do you think it's still the right play to max out Anchor Smash, or do you think maxing out Kraken Shell? Because I've seen early maxed out Kraken Shell, and you are a beast. I mean, 70 damage block, you pretty much can't die once you get that much damage block early.
I mean, I don't know if you're killing anybody either, but
yeah,
I think if you're in these games where you're like, you know, safe lane tied, these old school, like you play safe lane tied versus beast, and you're just farming up, I think it's interesting. Here, you know, he's gonna have to fight. He's getting dragged into a mess, man.
Yeah, he really is. They're gonna lasso him to ensure the kill. And
no flashy play that time.
Ultimately, we ended up on 9 deaths in 10 minutes, so looks like we were wrong, Avery.
Well, I don't know what to say, man. NA has just lost its aggressiveness, you know? What are these guys doing? They're slacking.
Yeah,
they're slacking, man.
You know what it was? It was the damage
I don't even
block.
take responsibility.
I mean, if Nick died, then, you know, maybe we would have been in the clear.
That's true. Little Nick screwed up our predictions, man.
All right, big push coming in. They've lost their safe lane tower, so the Cut really needs to be able to even things out by taking the enemy safe lane tower. They've got the sweep in from behind from Shaggy, who's going to collect the kill onto Sam. Sam the man.
Lose some mana for it, though.
Yeah, he really is. Shaggy's going to be all out of mana after that one, but they do get the kill, then they should be able to get the tower off of it, too.
Decent move. Catapult mid with some tree damage, gonna force out the glyph. So Wildcard are getting some pressure trade, and at the same time, you know, it's a lot of space for this Batrider, who again was supposed to have the hard early game. That said, SMD did, you know, make the most of the matchup, and like you said, taking this bottom tower pushes them to the top of the CS or top of the network chart, which is exactly where you want this Weaver to be in a game like this. Because I think SMD has to go and fight. Like, you have to be gearing up to take that Roshan contest, right? That's the biggest thing.
Shaggy, caught by the fresh blink dagger, smoke it. Oh, no!
Oh, he didn't toss the tree.
He didn't throw the tree. He throws it now, but it's not going to land. Small disjoint. The TA trap. Oh, it did 35 damage on that last tick. How much does TA trap do? I swear to God, it's broken.
Like, does like 35 post-reduction.
I guess so.
Static storm top.
Hey, the double silence duo. They find a kill. Not the normal Skywrath mage duo that you normally run around with, but I guess it worked.
That's a 400 gold kill. It's pretty decent. And I'll get to farm up some wave too. So B-God, he's been having a quiet game, I think, but he's actually decently farmed. Like, he went for this null. He's got full Vassy, another 800 gold on top. We'll see how greedy he plays it, if he goes even more stats or if he just tries to get fast Atos. All right, he's thinking Veil. Veil's pretty interesting here. It will help the team damage a lot. You have Storm Disruptor, some Tide spells.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I can dig it.
It's not bad. You do have this problem of Eve is just turbo farming his way through the jungle. Like their own triangle, we saw the Tiny came in there and blew up the hard camp and took away some farm. Meanwhile, Eve totally uncontested in his own jungle. So
I mean, there's just nothing you can do. I don't think their lineup has the ability to contest this TA. It requires some like 3 or 4 man smoke gank with ults. It's just not. It's honestly not worth it. It's probably better to try and shut down the tempo setters like Bad Tiny and just make your Tide ball strong enough again to contest the TA objectives. Like she wants to do an early Roche. She wants to get involved in fights. So if she's going to go the Dragonlance Deso, it's pretty much if you can contest like Ancient stack maybe with the 1 smoke or the Roshan, you're going to be happy. I don't think you overthink, because again, their lineup just can't contest it. I mean, it's suicide.
They are looking for the pick off on the Bad Rider, but you could see Divine Llama, he's playing very cautiously. You've got Sam, who actually TP'd in, thinking, yeah, they're definitely going to try and make that move. Shaggy sees the Bad Rider's not overextending himself, so he backs off, just continues to farm. Wildcard leaving no real big openings for the cut to play with, but the cut is also not falling that far behind in general farm. Like the TA is getting, kind of out of control, but the overall net worth difference is still very minimal.
Yeah, if anything, I think the cut's getting more out of the map right now. And Arcane Room for this Storm. Wildcard's choosing not to contest. I don't know, I feel like Wildcard's losing a little momentum. I think their Tiny was in a great position to snowball the map. I mean, I don't know if we really saw it, but he had a haste rune for that last like 2 minutes too. They just didn't use it for anything. I think they could be fighting Storm on these runes. Maybe the Tide is just too much of a problem for them, but I feel like Tide's one of these heroes, if you just let him do whatever, it doesn't really get better for you in a way, He just gets stronger. He gets tankier. Like, Little Nick's having a pretty good game. He also went Falcon Blade, which is an item we've seen a lot more since Soul Ring nerfs.
Yeah. So, like, you've got to find an answer to your mana problems now. The jump in on the 2 supports who were looking to gank the Bat Rider instead find themselves to be the victim of a big smoke gank. They still get the Clockwork kill. That's nice, but they're probably going to be losing both their lives as the Flame Break lands. Divine Llama, instead of dying, gets a double kill.
Yeah, nice read by Wildcard. I mean, these are the types of fights they want to be getting right now. Like, they're Bad and Tiny are strong just with the raw HP. Another combo on Shaggy. Just poking him down.
Yeah, just
like,
making sure he respects the power.
Yeah, you gotta teach these kids some respect, Too many hooligans out here these days. Not enough hooligan discipliners. I don't know what the word is.
Is that the cops?
There has to be, I don't know. There has to be balance in the force. You know what I'm saying?
Who are the problems? Who is leading the downfall of our society, Avery? The politicians?
North American pros, I'll say.
NA pros, of course. Dota pros.
Yeah, I'm not a pro anymore, so that doesn't.
Long jump mid lane, but falls a little shy. Doesn't actually hit alone, and he blinks away defensively.
He's an Arcane Rune, so he doesn't lose too much. Once the invis.
Shaggy. He's immediately caught by the avalanche and could not get the jump out in time. Eve, who just picked up his Desolator, is immediately rewarded with a charge on that Desolator and a chance for maybe some objectives. They're not going to go Roshan, but maybe they can still try and take mid.
I mean, you know what they say about Shaggy. He never turns down an opportunity to refill the bottle, right? So
yes,
he just couldn't resist.
Toss back, straight to Eve once again. The hook shot into the side. Sam nailing, does
nice
manage to get the Ravage out. They also get the ultimates, double ultimates out on the Templar Assassin, all in on the TA. They take down the big damage dealer in exchange for a B-God, almost getting Alex. No glimpse available though. Long
Shaggy's
jump. Back. Shaggy? Oh, he wants something out of this. I mean, anything really. He's diving in pretty deep for it. He's gonna get comboed and killed. Shaggy. Oh, Alone tips him. He knows. I mean, Alone is dominating and Shaggy is feeding. This mid lane matchup is really proven who's feeling themselves right now anyway.
Look, man, all I'm going to say is if this match was played, you know, 4 or 5 hours from now, Shaggy'd be having a different performance. That's all I'm going to say. You know, this guy powers up the later the day goes.
Well, is it powering up?
He's just warming up right now.
Or is it the fact that everybody else plays worse? Like the fatigue starts hitting everybody else, and Shaggy's over-aggression, you know, like pays off the dividends instead of turning into mistakes like this.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just the greatness of a great player, right? You take advantage of your opponent's weaknesses. Like you go to, you're gonna go to land. I mean, if this guy gets to land, man, it's gonna be over, right? Because people on land, you're jet lagged, you're tired. You know,
yeah.
That's when over aggressiveness takes advantage of it. I'm not even kidding. Like over aggression usually works on land. So
true.
You're playing to go to the biggest land of all time. That's what I like to see. Take the risks. I mean, you know, we don't like to see that, but.
Well, I mean, I would say probably make sure you get to the biggest land before, you know.
Nah, style, man. You can't lose that.
Scourge McDuck is going to be rushing a BKB, which they're going to beat that team fight item because Wildcard, with the Aegis in hand, is ready to start demoing some buildings, I think. They've got a Blink Dagger that could be built for the TA. Maybe he's going to rush the BKB next item instead. We'll see.
I mean, yeah, that was the downside of like the last 3-4 minute sequence was this TA ended up getting a DD and just going Roche and didn't feel like they can contest it with Ravage down.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because it's the biggest objective of the next, 10 minutes here. It's going to set TA's pace and make it harder for the cut to fight here as well. Like now you have to fight into this Aegis with your Ravage, that's your biggest spell. They do have a Halberd on Nick, which helps a lot, and like you said, the Weaver BKB. Veil done on B-God. I mean, this is like a decent teamfight time for the cut. I don't know, maybe Wildcard will just give it to him. Be interesting to see what they want to do.
Yeah, maybe just trade. Well, right now it's just a free tier 2. See if they can test mid at all.
I mean,
Or maybe they just keep going high ground.
You can poke high ground here and try and make him come back. You don't think this mid tower is going to die fast enough. I think this mid tower is a great fight for you though, so I would not want to give it up. But Yves is just pushing the issue, and there is a glyph for Dire and get popped.
This could be a little awkward for the cut because okay, they are going to start TPing back.
Yeah, do not give this up for free.
He's setting up for it. He's going to go for Scourge Midget, bumping him in, but did not have the detection to grab him mid-Shikuchi. Nick is going to be caught here. They do have the Ravage that's going to go out. Clockwork immediately dying. Inside of the cogs, though, Nick is still left behind on the side. Looks like the jump in from Shaggy. Almost getting caught. The toss on the Templar Assassin. Eve might be able to run him down. Shaggy is no mana whatsoever, and the one last swing of the Templar Assassin. So gets the kill.
This guy Tom Brady or some shit? That was the longest toss I've seen in years.
Yeah, Alone quarterbacking Wildcard to a potential dub in game 1, it seems like.
Reminds me of another very fortuitous toss that helped me in a qualifier.
Oh, you're talking about the buyback toss?
Yeah. Seems like no matter how they change this spell, it always finds a way to just be good. You know, to put it simply, like, this toss spell is just good. It's been nerfed. It doesn't matter. It's just good. Hero displacement. Yves, Alone bottom though.
Yeah, crazy Alone. Oh, he's got a BKB. They don't have anything to go through that BKB.
He has no TP.
Yeah, why doesn't he have a TP? Okay, well that BKB is going to wear out soon. They're going to make the jump for it. First life down. Oh, and the hookshot used during the revive time. They can go for this. Static Storm with the BKB on cooldown means an instant kill on the carry. Nick once more. He's going to try and chase down some more. He gets the glimpse onto Alone, so not opting for an offensive glimpse there. Plays defensively.
Getting comboed on the supports, so
yeah,
necessary still. That was just a misplay by Wildcard on the map. Or Yves just holds his BKB, right? Like, you got to do one or the other here. If his team can get there in time, it's an okay baited fight. But then you play for the second round with BKB up, and people coming in. I mean, no one could get down there at all. It's just a misplay, and it's going to cost him some momentum here. Not the end of the world, because they still have decent map control. The other cores are farming up. You can't throw too many of those away, though, you know?
You know, I'm looking at this Marcy build. Alex is going to go 4 staff. It's kind of interesting to me. Since the Marcy change, I feel like the abilities are worse, but I think her item build is better now, right? Because Dispose is no longer like you used to go Blink Dagger, so you would Blink Dispose, right? It felt really good to be able to do that. But now it's just on Rebound, the stun is. And now people, I've seen most people just rushing straight BKB into like Basher on Marcy. And I think it's actually way better than the old Blink Dagger build. Alone going in deep, and it's going to be caught with a Ravage. He thought that it was going to be a free support pickoff with that haste room, but is denied that much. And now, with the Heaven's Halberd onto the Templar Assassin, left impotent in this team fight.
Nice
Or
hook.
maybe not. A hook shot coming in, a Conk's pushback, but
Not
Shaggy
enough.
barely able to get away. Nick is pretty hard to bring down thanks to the Kraken Shell. They're going to bump over and manage to get the lasso onto Scourge. McDuck. Scourge does have the BKB. He pops the ultimate, turns around, kills Sam bit by bit.
Another
he really wants the
disarm.
Templar Assassin too. Nick, he knows it. He feels like he can beat. Man, that was a miss. A meld strike that did pretty much no damage to Nick. Really well played by the combination there of Shaggy and Nick getting in there and punishing Alone for an overextension.
Yeah, very close to killing Storm and Weaver there with the stuns, but not being able to chain them properly, hurting Wildcard at the end of that fight. And meanwhile, the Cut, they're just happy to ravage a core and burst them with the Sky Spells. I mean, you get ravaged, you're dead. There's way too much magic damage with the Veil amping it up. Wildcard misstepping again, still, they just aren't coordinating the fight properly with the BKB timing. And now Shaggy gets the jump. This is a huge
hard.
go.
He does have
Well, he got
BKB.
it.
They don't necessarily have stuns, but the damage is too quick. They even drop a Static Storm on top of the single stun offered from Shaggy.
Yeah, I don't know if the Static Storm actually does anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like the 1 second of Static Storm probably does like 100 damage or something.
I mean,
but
why
hey.
not drop it though, you know? What else are you doing with it?
Yeah.
There's another big kill though. Again, this BKB timing from Wildcard. These don't last forever, you know? And you're going to get to a point where these cut cores are going to become pretty tanky for the damage that can come out.
And what do you think about this Ags on Tiny? We've seen a lot more of this. Thompson, and they was this a couple months ago, started doing Tiny Ags. All of a sudden, everybody started doing it. Think it's still good?
I mean, the damage is definitely good. Like, the damage in the scale feels nice. The downside is he's not going to have a BKB in this game for a decent amount of time here. And I mean, if you look at the Cuts lineup, BKB just seems so nice. It lets him commit on a support and still be able to not just get Static Stormed or Ravaged and die, which is what we saw last fight. And that's a big problem for Wildcard, I feel. Because their other two cores want to fight during the BKB as well. So you kind of have this, like, disjointed effect. Maybe he's tanky enough to just live through it. I mean, he does have 3,000 HP. Benefit of the Ags is you get a lot more just tankiness. So it's possible he might just live through it anyway. In which case, he's super happy.
Yeah,
but we'll see. I can see it being good. I mean, I think the build's fine. It's just about how you use it, too. I mean, he could also just let Divine Llama go in, right? Which seems to be the case, because Divine Llama has Blink Aether now. So he can just go and start the fight. If he finds a core, if he finds Weaver or Storm, I mean, that's going to be a free team fight win for Wildcard. There's no saves from the cut. You just BKB, you slay down that core. So much damage is gone. Very happy.
In which case, Nick's positioning is super important, right? Because that is a hero you do not want to lasso.
Yes.
So any like opportunity he can get to be on the front line to kind of like force some sort of vision scenario, it's gonna feel pretty good. He also went the shard, Tendrils of the Deep, which I was toying with this one. It feels pretty good, honestly. Like you hit a Ravage, then you just get another 1.4 second stun afterwards to chain it,
which is super big for his team. And we might have to see it here.
Here comes that Axe.
They found the TA.
Get the Ravage, instant blow up on Eve. They know their mark. That is the Templar Assassin. It's all the damage on the side of Wildcard, and they're making sure they threw everything they have at him. Sky doesn't even die. Divine Llama does barely get out. Looks like Marcy came a little bit too close. Wait, Egon still died. Must have died to the tower or something. Either way, Alex does get run down by Scourge McDuck and High Shaggy. Another one team fight for the cut.
power of vision, just finding their mark. I was about to say, if Lil Nick can ever just ravage a core on Wildcard, the benefit of the tendrils, you can chain stun him up and commit with the magic burst. He didn't even need it there. TA just gets evaporated. We'll see Sammy Boy de-ward this now, but that ward did its job. Huge teamfight win. Alone does manage to pick off those supports on the backside. So he's pretty happy with how that went for him. I mean, he's still 6-1-9. Cruising to his BKB now. It's a very interesting game. I feel like the Cut are kind of winning these fights, but at the same time, I don't know if they're making too much progress, you know? I'm still worried about this Storm. Just how rough his early game was.
Do you think they need progress? Like, do you think that Wildcard, if the game just continues to be static, do you think Wildcard actually gets stronger?
They get like stronger in bursts. I think in a very late game scenario, the game can become very annoying for them. Like if we're talking about Storm getting to BKB Ags, I think at that point the game is very hard for Wildcard. And like this Weaver, he's gonna get tanky enough to survive bursts like we saw, and like now this is just a run for your lives scenario, double damage.
Yeah, they don't have lasso, they don't have shit. So they just got to give up this part of the Roshan.
I mean, you cannot give this up.
Surely, I think they still contest, yeah. Oh, yeah, those trees are going to do some nice damage. Whew. Still, though, the Cut, yeah, you got to feel a little bit bad. You got to pick off. You've got a double damage on a Weaver. It would have been so nice to continue to take a team fight or force that Roshan, but they don't have Ravage. Not for another 15 seconds, so.
This is where I'm saying, like, progressing the game just feels awkward for them. They're getting these kills, but then they have to wait for the next Ravage. At least this one, the kill stalls this Rosh until Ravage is up. And they're looking top, too. No BKB.
Alone, I mean, yeah, as you said, the BKB, if you get gone on, Alone is going to regret this Aghanim Scepter every single time.
I mean, that is just a bad place to be when this Rosh is up. And now the Cut will commit to this for sure. Either force the Tiny buy or force a fight into Ravage, which they should be very happy to do. At the same time, as long as Wildcard is not doing the Rosh, they can also chill the Ravage up. Because the biggest thing is just TA not getting this. That's all they really care about. Now they have BKB on Storm, plus a gem.
Oh, that's nice.
Unless you lasso this Storm, he has free fight. And he's going to live a decent amount of time. This team fight is scary for Wildcard, man. They have to find a very good jump. This Diviloma bat has to get a core. It has to be like Weaver or Storm. Shaggy going in.
Okay, toss over to the side. That's a bit awkward. He jumped away, so the Tidehunter actually went pretty far out. He still managed to get the lasso. He did not get the jump off, but it didn't last very long. The Sange doing its work. He has one more little zip, but it's not far enough. Eve with the Blink Dagger is able to keep up. The Scotty, though, on Scourge McDuck, now looks to try and catch with Ravage going down. Nick setting up. He's got the Tendril as well. Doesn't throw it out, though. Eve is able to get off his BKB. Walks away and Alone. Pounces again. Completes the Tidehunter kill. And now with a buyback onto the Bat Rider. Nice glimpse back. Oh, he actually... I'm not sure what he glimpsed there. I thought he glimpsed the Bat Rider, but apparently not.
I think
either way,
he just popped back so fast it glimpsed him to where he was before anyway.
Wait, seriously?
I think so. I'm not sure, but I mean, either way, they're gonna clean that fight up. Once Ravage is gone, Nick's dead. Nothing left to gain there. I think. All right, they did recover a gem on the Weaver, so they didn't lose their gem, but that's gonna be Roshan for Wildcard.
What happened to the Tendrils? He hit a two-man Ravage. And then he just didn't tendril the TA?
I think he was trying to save it to chainstun and he ended up getting Avid. It's either he got Avid interrupted or he just forgot he had it. I mean, sometimes you forget you have these new spells, you know? You're not used to it. It happens.
I don't see a single stun that was thrown his way until later. I think he might have just forgotten.
I mean, the tendrils were too deep, man. You know, you couldn't find them.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Gotta dig a little deeper next time.
Well, that's Aegis and Shard. So Shard also going to this TA. It's a good Shard in this game. Talking about the Weaver post BKB. Maybe just mess with this Tide a little bit. Storm post BKB as well. Like, it is a very nice Shard to have. And this is Wildcard's like best timing to kind of cement their lead in this game or build is this second Aegis on the TA. This is where they want to get stuff done. Already smoking up. BKB for Tiny, I believe? Yep, BKB for Tiny. So now he's an absolute monster. He doesn't care about anything.
And they've got Silver Edge. So Nick can't be as content to frontline as before.
Yes.
They got to break into the right kind of stuns.
I mean, you could potentially even just lasso him, right? If it doesn't do enough damage.
Sure.
It's kind of awkward to try, but you never know. And you just blink Silver Edge, hit him. He's pretty much gone. Definitely on the back foot now with this Aegis up.
Bit surprised that Wildcard didn't force things a little bit more, but Ravage is coming up here now in a couple seconds. So they do get the tier 1 tower bottom. Looks like they may make the full sweep and get the tier 2 as well.
We should also mention how much farm this Skyrath has got. He is jacked, man. He's got nags. So.
Oh yeah.
This Ags is pretty nice with the AoE stuns of Tide. Like you're gonna throw down these multiple ults, double Mystic Flare on 2 targets with a Ravage. That's one way to take a team fight. So this Skyrath is a very big target now, actually. If the Tiny finds him, if the Marcy or Bat find him, I mean even Clock. Wildcard has a huge amount of backline jump. Taking the Skyrath out or just joining the fight between him and Tide seems pretty nice. Here, Wildcard forcing the high ground, bringing them all back.
Yeah, Wildcard seems to really like doing this. Like, force the high ground to get a decent amount of chip damage every time on these tier 3s.
No, it's a good play to do. I mean, you just cement the map control. You're going to force something out of the enemy, and now they're all stuck in base, you know? Oh, you got to smoke. All of a sudden, the cut's smoking into you, which is pretty much what Wildcard won here. Like, they want the cut to come into them, into the Aegis, where the aggressive Ravage isn't necessarily as good. It's going to be hard for Nick to just jump something here, man.
Yeah, they're trying to wrap around behind the TA. It breaks on the clockwork, though. Not the right target.
That was just a forced smoke. Like, you smoke because you're all in base and you want to make something happen, but it's just, you need to wait out this Aegis, you know? It's 2 minutes. You just got to be patient there. Just, like, maybe Weaver runs down a side lane. You farm some wave mid with Tide, you bait a fight, but this head-on smoke was just never going to work. At least they didn't force it. I think that's one of the things teams do too much sometimes, like these, you know, tier 2, tier 3 teams, whatever you want to call it. They'll force these smokes that were just never going to work in the first place. Then you're just losing the game more. Pick and choose your battles. Pick them wisely.
Minute left on this Aegis. Just why Eve wanted to kind of force things some more. They do actually manage to take away. With the Glimpse back, he's going to be in kind of an awkward position. See if they can force out a BKB or anything out of him. He's holding on to it for now. They're going to jump now, but there goes the BKB. Pull back onto the Marcy instead. Shaggy's a little bit low on mana, though. He's got to be careful. The Tiny starts throwing out the trees. The Ravage goes down, kills the Marcy. Alone popping his BKB, finishes off Shaggy. Good kill. Eve comes back into play, breaks the Tide Hunter. Refraction blocking some of the damage. Divine Llama needs to be able to get the lasso and does. Gets it onto the Weaver. Skyrath made stop by the clockwork on the side at the same time. Jump away. Eve does manage to get out. Alone may not be as lucky, though. This Weaver just has full reign of the team fight. Even with the lasso, they couldn't turn around and deal with him.
Yeah, he just did not even try and focus him. I don't think it would have been close either. And this Weaver is tanky. He's got 3,000 HP with a Titan Sliver. The Ravage from Little Nick honestly wasn't even that great. Like, he wanted to catch the TA. The TA ended up getting out of it. But these glimpses just keep forcing Wildcard into the fight, which is why Alone cancels his TP out and tries to duke it out. Well, like you said, Weaver, he's just tearing the fights up. If they can't burst him off the lasso, it doesn't feel like he can die.
I mean, we had this conversation early about when the first barracks was going to go down. Wildcard weren't able to snowball like you predicted. And
I'm wrong again.
Well, now it seems like I'm going to be wrong, too. They can't even break high ground by 40 minutes, as the cut is proven to just be a little bit too tenacious for that.
I mean, that is an Dota, you know? You either win in 20 or it goes the distance. I think we're going the distance.
Tendril, not fast enough to catch up, but the Glimpse will always pull you back to your doom. The 6K gold lead for Wildcard Gaming that feels like it's beginning to evaporate a little bit with that high ground defense hold and now some pickoffs. The cut should be able to run around, get some farm.
I mean, this third Roche is going to be the game-deciding Roche. I think if Wildcard loses, they basically have no chance.
Yeah.
I think if Wildcard get it, it's still honestly not that easy. It depends if it's like this, you know, refresher shard, Ags, whatever it is, but I just think the cut cores are getting to a point where the damage has to be synced up very well, and usually in those late game fights can be hard to do, especially when there's these like combo breakers like Tide and Disruptor and stuff. Potential buybacks as well, like buybacks this Dire Outpost. Some fight like this can be absolutely deadly for Wildcard, because the second their BKBs are out, if Weaver's alive, if Storm's alive, if there's a Ravage, you're getting destroyed.
Scourge mid duck, his courier died, and he was about to complete a Satanic. Now, the items weren't on there, but I'm just saying that he may not be able to get that Satanic.
He's going to the other shop. He could buy a Reaver, but again, saving buyback. Which I agree with. I think you just save buys for this third Roche.
Buy Llama. He wants to get a pickoff by himself, and he'll have to do it. Oh, the hook shot through! The Avalanche on top of that. The Ravage, though, intercepts it and helps protect Scourge McDuck, who does have an ultimate, is going to have to use it back to full health. Skywrath Mage draining damage down on all of Wildcard with a split. They do have Eve chasing after Lil Nick. Of all the heroes, I don't think Tidehunter's who you want to go after. Hi, Shaggy. Low on mana, not able to chase after alone, but maybe they can still catch Eve. 4 seconds for a blink away. Refraction up in 1 second. Can he actually somehow get away from all this? Another round of the ultimate from Skywrath Mage. Be God. Skywrath Mage, man. Comes through in the clutch.
He's just... Did he do the most damage in that fight? He did.
Oh, he absolutely did. I don't even need to see the numbers.
Yeah, what an absolute monster. I mean, carries for what? Just play Skywrath and destroy everybody with ults. Still, that was just an awkward engagement by Wildcard. Like, Defy goes in, he doesn't even want a Lastless Disruptor, which I agree with. I mean, Last Wing Disruptor is not going to win you these late game fights. He's probably going to have buyback anyway. And then they're just stuck there. They just get ravaged. On the backside, there was also a 2-man Tendril that hit Tiny and Marcy. I mean, Little Nick's just stunning them all. B-God's cleaning them up, and then they haven't even begun to start on the actual course. So fights do not look like they're getting better for Wildcard. And now we're talking third row spawning soon. Ravage up in 60. You're gonna need one hell of a lasso pull, man. Lasso and to break the tide, or you gotta find this Weaver. And the Weaver doesn't have Lincoln, so it's possible. It's just
Roche is up right now. If they knew immediately, I feel like they could have rushed down Roshan. They may still try.
Yeah, they're just gonna do it. I mean, this Weaver's 3,700 HP with Satanic, Titan Sliver. I don't think he's afraid of anything anymore. TA dead for 10, especially.
That's true. Yeah. Maybe Sam?
Ags, too.
Sam could go for the interception here.
Yeah, he's gonna have to try.
Pops the smoke himself.
They are gonna get
Player's gonna be come up at a second. It's actually gonna be pretty decent timing.
Yeah, this is gonna get murky.
They're gonna slow things down. Nick, he's gonna try and get in front of this one, but they're gonna jump inside. They managed to get the lasso on the pick up the Aegis. They managed to get it on the Tiny. Now they need to try and get out. Divine Llama slowed down, does manage to eat the cheese, helps out, but it's not enough. There is just far too much damage. Eve, he shows up. He's trying to go for the kill on Nick again, but this Tidehunter proves to be just too damn tanky, too damn elusive, and he blinks away again. Eve is still chasing after him all this time. Meanwhile, his team is left without their primary damage dealer, getting eviscerated by the Begon Skywrath Mage. He finally breaks it, but he's met with a Ravage immediately. Tendrilled on top of. Nick surviving through it all, perhaps. Alex finally gets the kill on the final punch of his Unleashed. But ultimately, a massive loss for Wildcard. A game-losing team fight, perhaps, is the cut. Now in a great position. Sam does manage to get a hook shot away, so he may not be dying twice. He's got another round of conks, 4 staff jetpacks, so I think he's good.
How much does SMB want him? That's the question.
I don't even think he can catch him if he wants to. Jetpack too fast, you know?
Man, that fight is just so hard to take. I mean, just not enough damage in the tank on the jump. Somehow they get the Aegis snatch, but TA ends up chasing the Tide the whole time, and like you said, Alone just gets left alone. There's no other way around it. He's not doing any damage with the Chain Stuns that are coming out from this Vortex. The biggest thing about that fight as well is Shaggy got the Ags off the roast drop. So he just got a free Ags, and then he just AoE pulled him into double Skyle.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I was like, alright, that's pretty good.
And he's going to use it again to kill the Bat Rider. I was wondering how he got the AoE.
I mean, because I think he was building it, and then he just ended up selling the components because he's like, alright, I got one for free, so I don't need to build it anymore. So now he's going Shivas instead. Very happy with that fight. Probably the best here they can get the Ags on.
Why does Eve keep going for the Tide Hunter?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, he's trying to take this, like... The problem is the Anchor Smash and the Halberd just debilitates him in the fight. Tide's alive. I can understand, like, taking Tide is the most valuable target they can get out of the fight. The problem is it just takes too damn long. Like, they don't have an easy way to burst and kill him. Unless he literally gets jumped by all 3 cores at the same time and gets broken. That's the only scenario I foresee this Tide dying without getting spells off. And so if that doesn't happen, I agree, like, trying to chase him down is just never going to pan out.
I mean, Nick just built pure tank. He didn't go for, like, the Aghanim's Gust route, right? He went Heaven's Halberd, Lotus Orb, you know, like, he just raw tankiness. He now has the level 20 talent as well, the plus 40 Kraken Shell damage block, so he's shrugging off 110 damage every hit.
His build makes sense. He just blinks in Halberd, Anchor Smashes TA. Even the Tiny, right? The base damage reduction on Tiny is significant. It just removes so much of their damage. They cannot win a fight if this happens, basically. And I think Wildcard, they're feeling the pain, you know? That's why they're chasing this Tide. Like, get this guy off the map, man. Little Nick is too big. Big Nick.
He really has. He's growing up, become a man.
This was not like the days of old. Lil Nick is mad. He's here to take his revenge.
Forged in the fires and the flame of NA Dota.
He really was, man.
All right, well, full out refresher. Things are looking very dark for Wildcard. I mean, either way, no matter the outcome of this game one, I'm just happy it's a close, seems to be a close series. Just because our previous series, which was Alpha versus 5 Rat 4 Staff, was probably the other series that was expected to be maybe even. And, well, sadly, that game 2 ended off of...
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, just ended off of some power outages. So, good to see that this other match, which is kind of the potential even one, is going the distance, at least for this game 1.
For sure, for sure. And, I mean, you know, signature heroes, right? B-God Sky showing up.
Yeah. He's definitely making an argument to ban it next game.
Yeah, I don't know if first pick Sky should be having this good a game, but it is B-God Sky, so we'll give it to him.
Run in.
Oh, that's a good target.
A very good target. A big team fighter without buyback.
And
Shaggy, did he buy out his Shivas? He bought out the Shivas and didn't save for buyback.
80 seconds off the map. Wildcard might try and force base here. They have double damage as well on TA.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they gotta get something here, man. This is your best chance to, like, win this game they've had in a long time. Either force some mistakes or get a storm by. Anything here, you gotta find something. They have level 26 TA, so he has, like, he has multiple refraction charges plus his DD. Might be enough to keep him in the fight. Actually burst this Weaver. That's a double Ravage from Nick, and he smoked.
Ready to go. Ravage 1, locked down. Does get the save out from Marcy. Nick holds on to the second Ravage, though. So they don't waste that team fight, and it looks like Wildcard, that was enough. It spooks them. They actually are going to walk away.
That was an interesting jump. I don't know what happens if he just refreshes, goes again. They might just be able to burst TA, but yeah, that Alex save was pretty fast. Benefit of Marcy here. That said, they still have this refresh Ravage.
They're gonna run in skirts with Junkie. Silence. Now he's ulted. Now he's dead. Oh no, the Ravage, the second Ravage being used.
Not enough.
Get the kill on the Tiny. It's gonna be worth it, but the Tendril didn't land in time. He gets off the BKB. A long hook shot comes in from Sam, throws down the clogs before he gets glimpsed away, holding the Tide Hunter in, and now the trees. They rain down on the Tide Hunter. 2 cores dead, no Ravages. I mean, Wildcard, if they force some buybacks here, they're turning this game around when it looked very dark.
The only way they kill this Weaver is if all the cores hit him together. The SMD just ran into him. I guess he just didn't expect them to be sitting there, but 4,000 HP for what? He's gone. And then you're ravaging to try and burst this Tiny. Just not enough off the Skywrath alone because Storm was still dead.
I mean, we saw that win rate. It was 90% to the favor of the cut. I feel like, you just literally AFK in base and it would stay 90%. Shaggy goes in, gets the ultimate. They do get a lot of damage out for the Skywrath Mage. Not enough. Oh, it is. The Thunder Strike finishes them off in the end, but they're going to trade out the Storm Spirit, and they do have a buyback on the TA. Let's see if they want to push this or not. Glimpse back, but the jump forward from Alex. They want the kill on a B-God. B-God, he does. Ooh, nice Static Storm. Nick's going to go in. If B-God can get off some more damage, they might be able to get some kills, but Divine Llama pounces and finishes off B-God before he can actually get the regen out for the Fountain. Divine Llama actually gets a double kills Jubei as well for that. Now it's just Nick alone. They may not have the Templar Assassin, but well, the Weaver's coming up in a couple seconds here. We'll see if they can get any buildings off of this one. Certainly not out of mid. They get the melee barracks out of top.
I don't know, man.
Scourge McDuck is now on the hunt. Ooh, almost hit alone. Slowed down by the sticky napalm though, so he's just gonna back up, clean up the lanes. The cut, I mean, they almost need a timeout here. They need a breather because they've been kind of throwing away what was a pretty lock solid lead for them.
Yeah, I thought after that Roche, it was like game secured, but they are crumbling here in the last 5 minutes. And now you have a Tidehunter bought back. Doesn't have it for 6.5. Huge win condition on the map. I mean, you take him out and suddenly the fight's way easier. Your damage reduction's gone. This big tanky frontliner with stuns is gone. There isn't any other control from the cut outside of this Storm pull, which, I mean, the Storm pull's great, but it's really the Ravages that are going to seal the deal. Man, what the hell happened in the last 5 minutes in this game?
I don't know.
Just getting caught off guard. I mean, now you have some huge items coming out from the wild card. Like, we're talking about the late game scale. I mean, the late game in Dota is always weird because you can just get these items that didn't exist 3 years ago. Like, now you have this random overwhelming blink on Tiny that puts him to 5,000 HP with a Daedalus. You're like, what the hell? This is a different hero now. You have Swift Blink on Templar Assassin. You have this Octarine Refresher on Bat with a Timeless Relic. So now you have like
free Aghanim Scepter, free Refresher.
Yeah, now you're getting even more. I mean, who takes any of this? Ag's Bat?
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, because he finished up the Refresher. That Aghanim Scepter becomes way more value.
Oh yeah, you're talking about like 4-second duration double lasso getting double. What is that, like 4 seconds squared in a rope? I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's 16 seconds of disable. You're correct.
It's crazy. So we're in the ultra late game. You know, ultra late game, no one knows what the hell is going on.
Well, actually, it's 3.5 seconds duration.
Oh, he has Relic. He has Relic, brother.
Oh, shit, you're right. It is 16 seconds.
He gets an extra 20%. Do some quick math here. 0.7 more, 4.2. Blaze it. He's going to be stunning some people.
All right. So what, it comes out to, was 17.2 something?
Oh, the 4.2's quad now? I don't know. 16.8? We're doing some work.
8.4, 16.8, yeah. Some real NA math going on here. This 50-minute game one between Wildcard and the cut. It all comes down to the initiation.
I mean, will we see he gets 0 lassos?
Yeah, will we see the double lasso? Will we see the Ravage doubled? They're gonna go for a lone. He refreshes double Ravages. He actually hits the Bat Rider. Oh no! Divine Llama does not pop his BKB before he blinks in. Eve has to just BKB teleport out because 2 of his cores are dead. We're gonna get the Mercy on top of that. So Nick just boldly just treads out there into the middle of no man's land, leaves the safety of his base, and finds a massive team fight.
I don't know what to say. I mean, you just blink stunned him. I guess it's that simple. Like, you just blink, double stuns is Tiny. No save comes out. The Bat blinks into the Ravage without BKBing. A pretty bad mistake here from Divine Llama. I'm not sure what to salvage the fight, but that definitely hurt. Yeah, all that lasso talk for 0 lassos. Once again, this game getting turned around on the back of these Ravages. I don't think this Tide should just be able to do that, but I guess he does have ninja gear. That helps. I don't know. I think just kind of sloppy from Wildcard, right? Like you have to be thinking, all right, this guy wants to blink Ravage us. This guy wants to blink Ravage us. Where's this blink Ravage? That's all you should be thinking. You should be ready for it. You should have a game plan.
What is the game plan? Because that first Ravage, I mean, it was a one-man Ravage, effectively. He only got a two-man Ravage because the Batrider blinked into the second one.
I still think the one-man Ravage is like good enough though, right? You kill this Tiny. Is TA gonna commit in the fight versus like, you know, Halberd, Anchor Smash, potential buybacks at their base? It gets weird when one of these wildcard cores dies.
So what, you think you can just never show? You can just never give the opportunity for the Tidehunter to blink on you first?
No, you just have to be ready to interrupt it, right? Like,
okay,
they have multiple interrupts. They have a hook shot, they have the blink, they have BKB blink, and, you know, not blink BKB, but they have BKB blink lasso. They have, you know, potentially some TA trap silence, like any of this stuff, right? You just need to throw it on the Tide when he blink Ravages to buy time for this Tiny to get his BKB off. Or you buy like Aeon Disc or something, you know?
Ooh, hookshot misses. Maybe it's for the best. Scourge McDuck actually has an Aeon Disc ready to be assembled on top of the BKB and 4,200 HP. He's not easy to bring down.
I mean, I'm surprised. Like, this is a late game scenario where I could see Aeon Disc being pretty good for Wildcard's cores. It's not an item you generally want to buy on like these high damage cores, but in a scenario where the only way to cut or winning fights is if they blink chain stun you forever, it guarantees the BKB pop, which I feel like is good enough. There's not going to be some nullifier here from the cut. I mean, who's building nullifier? Nobody.
Yeah.
So now you're. I don't know. Like, you just need a way to break the combo, right? I don't care how you do it, but just have some game plan.
And it's all because the whole reason they need that in the first place is because there's so much damage coming out from Beacon's Skywrath Mage. In fact, he's almost level 25, which I presume you're going to Mystic Flare damage.
Oh, yeah. In this game, for sure.
2,050 Mystic Flare damage.
And he's also got a
Hex. Being veiled and, yeah, all that other stuff.
Yeah, he's a beast. The only thing they're really missing is his Disruptor Ags. Which would just be the cherry on top, you know?
Yeah, true.
Because then if you Ravage and you throw the Storm on Tiny or something, like, even if you combo break it, then it just doesn't even matter. You're just still stuck there forever. I mean, Nick's got an Arcane Blink, too. Interesting.
I mean, Scourge McDuck could almost flat out buy a Moon Shard and consume it and still have buyback.
I mean, he's level 29. He is farmed, man. I mean, this is a late game Dota. It's all about who jumps who and who has buybacks. It's pretty much all that matters. Choose the right area to fight, get the vision, jump them first. That's what this game's going to come down to. That's where Rocket Flares... You know, Rocket Flare becomes pretty good. A little extra vision. Might just win you the fight. I mean, Sam's got a Hex of his own, too. So, you see somebody, you just hook in. Like, maybe you just hook Hex as Weaver or Storm. They don't expect it.
So instead of the Moon Shard, which he is 6 slotted, he's actually going to go for an Abyssal Blade and swap up one of his items.
Abyssal Blade? What is... Okay. Interesting.
I don't know what to think about that either.
Yeah, I don't know. Abyssal Blade. Do they... I don't feel like they need lockdown in the BKB. Is that the issue?
Maybe he wants a quick reaction to Batrider? Like if Batrider tries to jump him, maybe he can Abyssal Blade him first?
I mean, Abyssal Blade's never bad, but I can just see, like, you know, Divine or some just insane damage here, too. Oh, that's an interesting choice.
It seems like he just doesn't need to put out damage because Begon is the real carry.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, extra stun is not going to be bad here, by any means. I mean, we see Wildcard kind of itemizing similar, right? They got a Hex on TA. Like, you just want good stuns in the late game. Blink Ravage.
Oh, Blink Ravage, there it goes.
Got him again. The vision, man. You got to be careful where you're walking. Nick refreshes. He's looking for more.
Yeah, why not? And he just might find it. Wildcard, they're actually still going to try and take this fight without the Tiny. Maybe because they can buy back and TP in. It's risky, though. The element of surprise is gone. They've shown themselves. I don't know if they could... They should still do this, rather.
Man, I cannot help but feel like you just buy A on disc on Tiny here. And this game becomes so much easier, you know? Because then you can just run in and he doesn't want to ravage you. And then you become a problem. Because you're still a problem as this Tiny, but not if you just get blink ravaged on a random ward. And it's too hard to find every ward. Like, you're going to run into some random high ground ward eventually.
Well, he's listening to you now. Kind of queued up, but maybe it might be too late. We'll see.
I mean, you can even slot it out after he jumps you. It feels like it would make his game easier because they don't have anybody else who's just going in. Like, it kind of has to be him. I don't know. Maybe there's some weird itemization they could have done with like Shadow Blade Bat or something. But at this point, they just need A on this. It's the way they're playing. And SMD forcing the issue does have his Abyssal.
Yeah, he's got a few more seconds. The Tiny doesn't want to buy back with such a low death timer. So this is enough to at least get that tier 3. They found Shaggy,
Storm,
though. The jump in, the lasso.
Beautiful find.
Yeah, big pick off, and now the cut. They got to run. They got to get out of here. Or
creeps
maybe
hitting their base.
They're still going to try and get a pick off on whoever defends here. And if it is alone, if he dies again... Okay, they're TPing out. They're getting out.
Too much info from these creeps in the base. Wildcard knows what's up. Oh, might be going to another. We could be going to the 60-minute plus here. Getting some Deus Ex Machina soon.
I'm not sure if did you see that China game that happened where you had the Book of the Dead come back? Ponlo?
The Ponlo Chenrad, of course.
Yeah, the Ponlo Chenrad. That was a good one. We'll see
Written into the history.
What 60-minute items we're blessed with in this game. I mean, Mirror Shield would be pretty insane.
Oh, he's hexing in.
Hexing pops the Aeon-Disc, though. Forces out the BKB on the Templar Assassin without using a Ravage.
Pretty good poke jump. No way out on this Weaver now. He's burstable.
He's burstable, but at the same time, the TA... Oh, no! Divine Llama thought he was going to be able to get the pick off. Maybe he's going to be saved, though. Alex gets him out of there, and he lives with just a sliver of HP until Shaggy wants to be able to hunt him down with the Shivas. He's going to be able to get the vision, gets the kill before the lasso comes out. Double pickup for the cut, and they're going to buy back immediately on the Storm Spirit. See if they can find something here. The Ravage going down. The follow-up with the AoE disabled, but they've lost their damage dealers. Another Ravage. Scourge McDuck cleaning up now. The Refraction's blocking so much with the lasso. It's now pulled in. They have the Weaver controlled up. They toss up in the air, and they're going to be able to bring him down. No buyback available. They're going to have to do it without the Weaver. B-God's going to be dying here as well. He does have a buyback, but it's going to be a 4 versus 5 now.
How the hell is he alive, man?
Just spawned.
This guy got ravaged like 8 times. He's in like 4 sky ults. I don't even know what the hell happened there. All I know is this Weaver just got hexed on the Sakuchi and bursted. He buys back, comes in again, and he just gets comboed off the lasso. No Aeon disc from earlier, man. It actually cost him huge.
Watch that one again. Instant Scythe, the Ravage goes down, but he still dies to Alone with the tree tosses. Then the next Ravage comes through. I mean, Marcy was on top of the Templar Assassin, so you couldn't... I'm not even sure if they could hit him.
Yeah, that's just... I feel like they should all die there. You know, they're getting multi-Vortex into multi-Ravage.
Yeah.
Somehow, Eve just walks out of that. I don't know, now you're in a situation where that's probably just the game. There's no buyback on this Weaver.
Yeah, no Ravage.
Some good pulls.
Without the Ravage, how does B-God get damage out?
They can Vortex him into disrupt their Ags.
They could.
Just don't.
They're gonna have to do it twice. He blinks away from the gush. Shaggy, lasso, great combination, 2, double lasso, follow-up hook shot. They don't even need the second lasso. That's it, 2 cores down. They get the 2 supports as well. Divine Llama, in the end, gets the lassos that he's always dreamed of. And Wildcard, once a 10 to 90 position that they were in, managed to claw it back from that 10% and get the victory in game 1. What a game.
He got the 16.8 at the end, man. The double lasso, he finds it. That was a crazy last fight. I I still am not sure how it went so bad for the cut.